Is Normandy Park still the best kept secret just south of Seattle, or is it becoming the next overpriced hotspot?
There has definitely been some changes in the last year, and the market shifted a bit. More people are relocating here, and the lifestyle, while still amazing, comes with a few realities you might want to know.
In this video, we're giving you the real deal pros and cons of living in Normandy Park in 2025. From what it's really actually like from day to day to how housing market is behaving right now.
All right, let's get started with the obvious. Normandy Park gives you water views, beach access, and that big Pacific Northwest energy. With Northwest contemporary style homes and tree-lined streets, while being more achievable than Seattle.
You've got private beach access if you're part of the Cove community, and even if you're not, the public waterfront spots here are so underrated.
So underrated.
Very.
And unlike Seattle's waterfront neighborhoods, you're not packed in like sardines. There's elbow room, mature trees, and that true retreat vibe. Walking through the neighborhoods is always a delight. Beautiful homes, yards, and pockets of thick growth that makes you feel like you aren't in the city anymore.
That said, the commute ain't what it used to be. With SeaTac growing and more people discovering Normandy Park and the surrounding areas, the roads, especially First Ave South and SR 509, are getting a bit more crowded than they used to be.
And there's no direct light rail here, and there isn't going to be. So you're dependent on driving or limited bus service. For folks commuting into Seattle or Bellevue daily, it can be a headache.
The nearest light rail is in SeaTac, and the drive to get there is only about 10 minutes. However, depending on where you're headed and for what purpose, driving may be faster to get into Seattle, and there's not yet service from SeaTac to Bellevue or Redmond.
Now, if there is a big event, parking at the light rail and riding in is probably one of the smartest ways to go. Way less stress, and probably evens out time-wise after looking for parking. And I was amazed at how much parking costs at these events lately, like easily $100 in the stadium.
Easily $100. And it's also worth noting that although the bus service is limited in this area, King County does have plans to improve services around Berrien, Normandy Park, and Des Moines, especially routes to the light rail depots.
Yeah, definitely. Now, one of the pros of living in Normandy Park is that it continues to rank as one of the safer, quieter suburbs in the South Seattle area.
Facts.
You get wide streets, walkable neighborhoods, and lots of green space.
It's a great place if you're raising a family or if you just want to avoid the city noise and the ease that comes with a neighborhood you feel safe in. You've got neighborhood events and lots of people out walking their dogs or running on a daily basis. It is definitely the type of area where you get to know your neighbors.
Definitely. Moving here from Seattle, I have not thought twice about letting our kids run around the neighborhood. I'm so grateful to be able to say that. These types of areas are getting harder to find in the greater Seattle metropolitan area. When I lived in some of the nicer areas of Seattle, my car was broken into several times, and I was not comfortable allowing the kids to wander too far. Living here gives me peace of mind I didn't really know that I was missing.
And community events like the 4th of July parade, neighborhood concert, and cleanup days are a big part of what makes this place feels like home.
It's so true.
It's so true. And speaking of community events, you know, they do like in our neighborhood, I love how at least about twice a year when our neighbors get out and play jazz music and all the neighbors come together
here
in our cul-de-sac and hang out and talk and listen to music. It's one of the cool parts about living here in Normandy Park.
And one of the big parks that a lot of the community events are in is less than a mile away. So a lot of times we'll walk up there and there's always some sort of, especially in the summertime, they do concerts in the park and little kind of not festivals, but gatherings that are themed.
Food trucks. What is it? Food trucks
Food
Wednesdays?
Truck Wednesdays down
yes,
at the Cove.
down at the Cove as well. So a lot of cool community things and ways to get to know your neighbors.
Yeah,
now,
for sure.
on the flip side, if you're used to having dozens of restaurants or bars at your fingertips, Normandy Park will feel a little bit slow, right?
That was definitely something that hit me when we first moved here. Because again, coming from Seattle, I'm used to just walking a block and getting to a cafe or a restaurant or a grocery store. Maybe it's a few blocks, but really walkable everything. And here, it wasn't the case. It did throw me off at first.
Yeah.
We basically have one nightlife type option, and that's the Normandy Park Ale House. You're not getting a big nightlife scene around here, that's for sure.
Think small town vibes, early closures, and maybe one or two options for a nice dinner without heading to another city, right?
Yeah, it's true. So, the same goes for grocery stores and boutique shopping. It's solid for essentials, but not the major go-to. We have gained a new convenience store and a gas station as well as a new grocery store, so we are growing, but it's still limited.
Yeah, we're growing. We learned pretty quickly that you go down into Des Moines or up into Berrien for shopping, dining, or nightlife activities close to home. You only need to go about 10 minutes either way, direction, depending on what you're trying to do. But because Normandy Park is just very
pretty small.
Yeah, it's not very big at all.
Okay, let's switch gears a little bit. We're gonna flip over to another pro of this area. Do you want to get to the outdoors without having to drive too far? Well, this place is seriously rad. There are lots of parks and green spaces for such a small town. Marine View Park has a great little hike, and with a set of stairs that leads right down to the beach. Nature Trails Park is just a few minutes walk from our house and is definitely one of my main daily go-tos. It's nestled in the center of the neighborhood, and you can pop in for a quick little tree hug. And of course, there's so many accesses to the beaches around here. So it's really easy to stay active and connected to nature.
There's also a surprising amount of wildlife. You'll see bald eagles, blue jays, seals, and deer, all while jogging or walking the trails or hanging out on the beach. This morning on our walk, what did we see?
A woodpecker?
A big woodpecker.
Full sight. It wasn't just a flicker. And
No.
if anyone knows about birds, you'll know the difference. And it was really cool. I had to stop and watch the woodpecker.
Yes.
And I was so delighted the other day on my walk. I didn't get too far, and all of a sudden I saw two ferruginous hawks and had to stop and gawk at them for a little bit. It really was a major perk of my day. So around here, especially in the spring and summer when everything is in bloom and the beach sunsets are just gorgeous, it's amazing. I almost forgot about Walker Preserve, which is a great hike that is pretty much hidden. In fact, we didn't even know it existed for the first probably year that we lived here. It's nestled in between a few different neighborhoods through a green belt that's just in the north area of Normandy Park. And there's multiple trails and access to a creek. It's definitely one of those that makes you feel like you've escaped the city.
So funny thing is, just so you know, going for a walk with this one right here in the spring is more like a stop and go experience. There's always a flower or bird that brings Brandy to a halt.
I don't know what you're talking
Smell
about.
the flowers, smell the roses, always. A walk that seems like, by the way, it should be like a 20-30 minute walk, generally with her, it's like an hour.
Oh, that's an exaggeration. That's totally an exaggeration.
Whatever.
Anyways. You know what? I want to pause for a minute. We'd love to hear what kind of home or lifestyle you're looking for. Leave us a comment below or book a time to chat with us using the link in the description box.
Yeah, seriously, we geek out over matching people with the perfect spots.
It's so true.
Yes.
All right.
Now, let's talk real estate. One challenge with Normandy Park is that inventory is pretty limited. This is one of the biggest shifts we've seen since last year. Inventory is tight and good listings go fast. It's still competitive, especially if the home has been updated or has a view, right?
That's true. There are fewer homes overall and not a ton of new construction happening. If you're looking to move here, you've got to be ready to move fast and potentially be flexible on your criteria.
Very true. It's not uncommon to see multiple offers, especially on homes with views, with updated interiors or fixer-uppers. We help clients prepare for that kind of market, and it's something to be very aware of.
Yeah, definitely. Like sometimes it's interesting to see what homes stay on the market longer in this area, because with the bigger lot sizes and the bigger square footage, like the views of the water, these homes are definitely higher value. Like,
yes.
And so when something's in, I'd say a little over $1 million, but it needs some renovating, you'll see those stay on the market a little longer because they're definitely geared towards a specific buyer.
And if you see houses that are a little bit less than that are fixer-uppers, that's where you're a lot of times going to see multiple offers, and they'll go quick.
Yeah.
You'll have multiple investors coming in to check out this house, and it goes pretty fast.
Yeah.
And they'll flip it, and then they'll resell it for a lot more.
Yeah, we just saw one recently. It was on the market for quite a while.
Oh yeah.
They were clearly trying to get their value out of the home, but it did need some renovations. So what is that company called? The construction company that works
Terrain.
Terrain. They do really fantastic work.
Beautiful work.
So what they did is they came in and completely renovated it, and it just sold recently for what, $2 million?
Something like that, yeah, just close to $2 million.
So that was a great investment for them.
Oh yeah.
So another bonus about living in this area are that the homes are really unique. We're talking Northwest contemporary, mid-century moderns, ramblers, and custom homes. Many with big lots, as we said earlier, and mature landscaping. Big lots is something that you really won't find in Seattle without a hefty price tag.
Yeah, if you're tired of cookie cutter developments, Normandy Park might be kind of refreshing. And some of the older homes have been beautifully updated while keeping their character going in there.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. It adds to that established, peaceful neighborhood feel that's hard to find elsewhere. And like I mentioned before, high Pacific Northwest vibes.
High Pacific Northwest vibes. Sorry. Now, on the flip side of those charming older homes, you've also got aging infrastructure. Think older plumbing, dated electrical, and big ticket maintenance items, right?
Yeah, for sure. Some homes may need to have new roofs, foundation repairs, or sewer updates. So if you're buying here, be sure to budget for those inspections and possible upgrades.
And if you're handy or have renovation funds set aside, it can be a great opportunity. If not, we'll help you avoid those money pits.
For sure. Inspections are crucial,
yes.
and we always make sure our clients are prepared for potential updates or repairs that might come up.
We've walked through plenty of homes that are beautiful but need tens of thousands of dollars of upgrades to bring them current today.
So true. And we've experienced this firsthand in our own home that was custom built in the 1960s with minimal cosmetic upgrades over the years. The fireplace and chimney work alone cost over $15,000, not to mention the electrical and the plumbing upgrades that were needed. However, every time I see the sunset over the sound from our front porch, I'm reminded just how much I love living here.
It is quite beautiful.
It is. Normandy Park really does have a strong sense of community. Whether it's the annual 4th of July parade, local farmers markets, or volunteer events, people here show up for each other.
Yeah, I think it's not unusual to have your neighbors wave hello, offer help with your yard work, or plan block parties, as we talked about earlier. There's a real sense of belonging here.
Yeah, for sure. And actually, just today on my walk, or I guess just yesterday on my walk, I met a new neighbor who caught me smelling their roses. It's one of the reasons.
Remember what I said earlier, smelling the roses.
It's one of the reasons people move here and tend to stay here. Normandy Park has a low turnover rate. People move here and stay for the long haul.
That speaks volume about the quality of life. It's not just about buying a house, it's about being part of a real community here.
Yep, definitely. And we've helped families relocate here and then help their friends and relatives do the same a year later. That kind of word of mouth says it all.
So, is Normandy Park right for you in 2025? If you're looking for peace, natural beauty, a tight-knit community, and don't mind a slight longer drive, you'll probably love it here. Right?
But if you're after that high energy nightlife scene, or really close to shopping, or maybe you don't want that big yard with all that yard maintenance, you might want to consider nearby options like Burien or West Seattle.
Either way, we're here to help you explore the area, and we're not just saying that. We live and work here, and we know what makes each pocket of Western Washington unique.
Make sure to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so that you never miss out on our insider tips on making Western Washington your home sweet home. We're here to help make your next move as easy as pie.
Pie. Apple pie. You know I like apple pie. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you're planning a move to or within Western Washington, whether next month or next year, we're on board to do the legwork to expedite your relocation decision. Just give us a call, send us an email, or click the link below to schedule a time to chat. We'll be here, rain or shine. Until next time, explore, dream, and discover the best places to call home.